Hi, everybody. This is Mike Newcomb from the York Japan Society, and I'm here at the 2009 Anime Festival. I get to talk to Eric Marsucak. Thank you very much for joining me.
How's it going? Hi. It's good. I'm glad to be here, so thank you for having me.
Absolutely, man. So you are drawing a gigantic mural right at the front entrance of the floor. How is that going for you today? I saw you really powering through it from yesterday to today, especially.
Yeah. It's a long day. I got here about 8 this morning, about 2 hours before the doors open, and I've gone pretty much straight except for a quick 15-minute lunch break and this.
Yeah.
So for the most part, I've been on the floor, hunched over, back's killing me, my fingers are killing me, but
I'm sure.
I'm making progress, so that's the important thing.
What are you illustrating right now?
It is the characters from Soul Eater, which is being distributed by, I think, Funimation is the company who are releasing it in North America. They just, at this show, world premiered the English dub version, the American release, and they have the voice actors here, and they have people in cosplay as the characters here, and it's a big push for Soul Eater. So when the New York Anime found out that was going to be a big push at the show, they came to me and said, can you do a piece for it as well to kind of make the whole thing a big Soul Eater thing? And I was like, yeah, sounds great. So I hadn't seen it before that, and they sent me the artwork, and
awesome.
I thought the art style was fantastic. So
yeah,
here I am.
It is looking really good too. One thing I was noticing about you can look on your website and you can see the pictures of it there. It's not really the same thing as when you get to see your pieces in person, though, because there's so much that with the detailing and the shading, but also the texture that gets created from drawing with chalk is really interesting. And was that something that motivated you to move into that medium?
Yeah, actually, it was. I kind of got into the medium by accident. But I was always known as an illustrator in my hometown, an artist, and had done painting and all that. But I'd never done chalk art before, and they actually decided to do a street festival, close off a street for 3 days and do a festival in the Little Italy section of our town to kind of do this. It's Marinari, it's called, because it came from Italy originally, the large chalk street drawings.
Right.
And they got a bunch of us who'd never done it before and said, we're going to have you guys for 3 days drawing on the street. And we were like, okay, we'll give it a shot. So a bunch of us tried it, and a lot of people, I think, had trouble with outdoors in the heat, people over your shoulder. And I actually found that I loved the people around me aspect. Because most artists sit at their drawing table all day, and no one sees what they do until it's published. They don't watch the process. You don't talk to them. It's very lonely. So I get to go to these shows where 20, 30,000 people are around me, and they get to watch art in progress.
Oh, yeah.
So I'd done the street painting, loved it, did a number of art festivals for about 2 years, and then was at a convention showing my portfolio at the time, more other things that I do, illustration work, and the guy said, I got to the page with some of the street art, and I always did comic book street art because I loved the art form, and he took one look at that and said, that is cool, can you do that at a show? I said, I'll give it a shot. And so I actually got the large paper and had practiced on paper and made it happen. And I've been doing shows now since the summer of 2006.
Awesome. Yeah, and it is a different experience when you're an artist and you get to kind of, be almost like sitting on top of your artwork. It's very Jackson Pollock-esque to be like leaning over your artwork the whole time.
Yeah.
But the aspect of having people kind of, when I went by where you were exhibiting a couple times, people were just like walking up to you and talking to you while you were drawing. And that's a really, unique experience, I'm sure.
Yeah, that's the point of it is a lot of artists, when they are at a show, if they're going to do a sketch or do work, they don't really talk while they're doing it, or they don't really talk about what they do. This is really a chance to get to see a portable studio. The floor is my studio at the show. And half of the enjoyment of it is that, they got questions, I answer them. They've got things they want to talk about, I'll talk about it. If it's subject matter like this, which happens to be stuff I love, I'm more than happy to discuss anime and comics and all these stories and things and characters. I think it's great.
Yeah.
So that's, to me, and partly the reason I think these conventions started bringing me was because they realized it was a very interactive thing. It was it wasn't just, there's art. It was, there's art, there's the artist, he's doing it now. People come back over the course of the show, see the progress. It takes him that long to do this much. They kind of learn as they go, and then they ask me questions and talk to me. Yeah,
and so with everything that goes into it, too, aside from a wonderful amount of patience that you must have as an illustrator, do you ever feel like when you're doing these things, because obviously they have to be completed before the show ends, do you ever feel like you're, back maybe in college trying to finish that one project or something like that, and it's crunch time, do or die time?
Every show is crunch time, every show. Because each piece I do, it's the first time I've ever done it. So I'm guessing at how long it's going to take.
Yeah.
I'm not 100% sure, what the styles, in fact, when I first saw this style, anime is deceptively simple. people will look at it and think there's not much to it, but there's really a lot of subtlety going on in the artwork, especially the color. To get the vibrancy of the color and to achieve those kind of animation cell quality, bright tones, it's requiring me to do a lot of work. So this is one of those where I misjudged a little. I actually thought, oh, I should be able to finish this a little under time, and I'm going to have to stay really late tonight to actually get it done in time tomorrow.
Well,
so
good luck with that,
I'm
then.
going to need day. I'll probably be here till, show closes at 7. I'll probably be here till about 10 or 11, just so you know. But yeah, it's a lot of work. It's killer, and it's tough to judge.
Yeah,
so
I can only imagine.
But I love it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't, like you said, you said patience before.
Yes.
I actually say to a lot of people who ask me, my God, I wish I could do something like that. And I always say the same thing. All you need is 30 hours. Because it's really, there's a lot of artists here who I think are far better artists than me.
Okay.
But to do a piece like this, 80 to 85% of what you're doing is the patience of it. The fact that you're going to sit down and you know that you're going to be there for 30 hours. You can't walk away from it. You can't decide you're not into doing it right now and come back in a few days. It's the next 30 hours with breaks for sleep, but not a lot.
Not a lot.
That is what you'll be doing.
Yeah.
So if you have the patience to do that, you can accomplish some amazing things in 30 hours.
I'm sure. And I was looking at a lot of your work, and you obviously have done some fantastic murals at other festivals. One of the ones I said to you earlier was at PAX, the Penny Arcade Expo.
Yep.
You did the Big Daddy from BioShock 2.
That was my first Penny Arcade just about 3 weeks ago. I had never been before, and they asked me out to do it and to do the Big Daddy piece. I was brought out by a group, a marketing company called the Promo Guys, who hooked me up with 2K Games, who released BioShock.
Right.
And they provided me the artwork and said, you're going to come to PAX in the Pacific Northwest, and you're going to do this piece at a show you've never been to before. I didn't know what the venue was like. I didn't know what the floor surface would be like. In fact, there was a lot of last minute figuring out exactly how I was going to draw, where I was going to draw. But it turned out fantastic, and it's one of my favorite pieces.
And is there anything in particular that you heard about that you were looking forward to seeing?
I walked the show floor about an hour before I started coloring on Friday morning, and there were a number of booths that I kind of would love to go back and take a look at what they've got. There's a lot of book booths selling manga. They have a lot of good deals.
Of course,
deals are always good. I would love to have sat in a couple of panels. More of the business side of the panels. Things about copyright or things about knowing the best artists in the industry. Because even though I love anime and have been following it for a long time and seen quite a bit, I find that I'm really not extremely knowledgeable in the subject compared to your average convention goer here who are just fans of the style. I admire it more for the artistic. And a lot of them are here because they're into the stories, the characters, the details, the background, the history. A lot of stuff I miss because I'm so focused on, I love that art. I want to watch this for the art. Yeah. So I find I'm always trying to make panels and stuff to see what's the stuff I should be learning about. And they actually had a great panel here that said the essentials. It was anime essentials. I think I missed it already, though, unfortunately. But it was supposed to be all the things you should absolutely see if you consider yourself a fan of anime. And I would like to have sat in on that and see what they had said and see how many were on my checklist already and what I missed. Because, I got my favorites like Miyazaki and everything. Of course. I've read Akira was one of my favorite of the stories.
And the creator of Gundam is here right now, Yoshiyuki Tomino.
Yep.
And so he was. We actually interviewed him this morning.
Did you?
Too. Yes.
Oh, that must have been interesting.
It was very interesting.
Yeah.
But
I would like to have gone. I've seen almost none of the Gundam stuff at the show because I've been in Soul Eater land. Yeah. But I would love to, do a little crossover and see what's going on that side of the pond and see what they're talking about. But I haven't had a chance.
Yeah, is there anything you want to say to the fans before we head off for the day?
Well, if you didn't make it down to New York Anime, you should because it's a heck of an experience. It's a blast. There's a lot of cool stuff here. The costumes alone, you can spend one full day just filling a camera full of shots of some of the most amazing detailed costumes you've ever seen made by your average convention goer. I describe, for someone who's not been to an anime convention, I describe it like going to one of the largest costume balls you could possibly go to.
That's a very good description.
Because if you're not in costume at an anime convention, you are in the small minority.
It's true.
Whereas in most conventions, yes, there's costumes. Comic conventions, lots of costumes, but by far the minority is in costume. Flip that for an anime show. The majority are in costume, and that alone is. I mean, you guys see the 15-foot tall Bumblebee walking around?
Oh yeah, we're doing a cosplay contest actually at the Japan Society.
You guys are going to get to see that then. Just the amount of time that people put in these costumes, amazing. So I would say if you don't make it to shows like this, you should really come down and try them out, even if it's for a day pass, even if it's just to see what it's like. And of course, if you're a fan, Why aren't you here? Get down here.
Of course. Well, thank you very much for giving us some time
Thank
out of
you.
your very, very busy schedule. This was Mike Newcomb from the New York Japan Society at the 2009 Anime Festival, and that was Eric Maruscak. Thank
Yeah.
you very much for watching.